Yeah, so it's deeper than just people just showing up under the mindset of just taking over. I mean, under the mindset of just moving in. Gee, we have nowhere to stay. Let's move in and get comfortable with the people next to us. And they, hey, how you doing? We're here now. It don't work like that. People come and take over nations under the orders of conquest, murder, rape, robbery, drain the resources, enslave the indigenous people. Again, Esau was promised no land but the sword. So he has all the guns and technology but no land. So whatever land he needs, he takes. And it's going on even today. Mid-East, you know what I'm saying? Parts of Africa, all over the place, you know what I'm saying? So these Gentiles made over 400 treaties with the Native American brothers and broke every last one of them. All right, so let's stop with all the madness, like they all sat down, held hands in a circle, and then had a kumbaya. It don't work like that. You got that Psalms 55. You got that, brother?
Psalms chapter 55, verse 20.
Yeah.
He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
That's what these heathens did. They put forth their hands against such as are at peace. We're going to make a treaty, ceasefire, right? But then you do that with intentions as soon as he turned his back to snake him. Come on, brother.
He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Sound good. We're going to make a treaty with y'all. We're going to stay here. We're going to be cool. Words were smoother than butter. Come on, brother.
But war was in his heart.
War is in his mind. War is in his heart. You see that? So, again, ceasefire, make treaties. It's all good. But then you do that with the intentions to when he ain't looking, when he put his guards down, to straight take him. War is in his heart. That's why the scripture tell you never to trust your enemy. You see that? And even if it was a few native indigenous brothers and sisters that sold out, like that ain't nothing new with Israel. We've always sold out and tried to do what the heathen was doing because we were scared of persecution. So let's stop that. Let's stop taking on the ways of our historical oppressor. And the scriptures clearly tell you, envy not your oppressor. Choose none of his ways, but you want to make an excuse for it because my mama said so. That ain't going to hold up in judgment day in front of the Most High. You feel me? Let it be established with the scriptures. Take your feelings about of it. War was in his heart. Words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. And they done broke every last covenant or treaty they made with the brothers. To the point where you don't even see Native American brothers no more. They on reservations. Most of them been assimilated, into society. A lot of us are natives and don't even know it. Because a lot of them was dark-skinned like we showed the pictures earlier.
And then their reservations is full of drugs, disease, and crime.
Yeah. So it's showing you some ancient pictures of what the natives look like. We're going to get a close-up later on. Again, J.A. Rogers. You see that? We got to stop being so simple, man. Don't let Hollywood play on your mind. Native Americans were very dark. That's cool, Lou. All right. That was it for that. What you doing?
Nah.
Okay.
His words were softer. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
They were drawn swords. Esau's whole thing is a straight get pillage and village.
Another thing too, when we made covenants with the heathen, even during the biblical days, we wound up getting destroyed.
Yep. We're going to get in there with that first Maccabees chapter 1. A lot of you brothers sold out and said, let us make a covenant with the heathen. Right? Okay, right here. Lost Tribes in the Promised Land by Ronald Sanders. Page 327. Check out the mindset of the heathen that came and conquered your brothers and sisters. Check out. It says, the natives there have more land than they can use. Do you hear these heathens? They said when they looked at all this beautiful land our brothers and sisters was occupying, they said they have more land than they can use. Come on. So some of it lies fallow. The utopians permit the natives to live in the colony if they wish. How are you going to tell some people in their own land, yeah, you permitted to live here if you wish? This is their land. That's like me stealing your car and telling you, oh yeah, man, you can ride with me if you want. You can ride. Come on, you need a ride, dog? I stole your truck yesterday. You need a ride? You can ride with me. You can get your ride to work. Stop all that, man. Check this out. It says, since their acceptance of utopian laws and customs means they are easily assimilated, which benefits both peoples. The utopian way of life makes the land fruitful enough for both groups, though previously it was too poor and barren for either. All natives, check this out, all natives who refuse to live under utopian law are driven out of the colony, and war is waged on the natives who resist. Utopians regard a war as just if it is waged to oust the people who refuse to allow vacant land to be used according to the very law of nature. I'm going to skip on over, page 329. It says, it did this idol no harm that in the fall and winter of 1633 through 1634, a smallpox plague raged among the Indians of New England. Again, because these heathens came over here and started committing acts of germ warfare. Smallpox don't just pop up out of nowhere. Check this out. For the bacteria brought to America by the Europeans were often even deadlier than their guns. This was germ warfare, and cleared the land of several thousand more of its original population. Do you really know what you partaking in? What do you mean they sat down and held hands in a circle and praised God together? These heathens was waging war on these natives. Waging war. And then they came with a form of germ warfare. Said the disease, the bacteria brought by the Europeans to the America was more deadlier than the guns. Yeah, okay. Check this out. The bottom of 329. The Pequot had been a source of tension for the English colonists ever since an incident that occurred at the beginning of 1634, when a confrontation at the mouth of the Connecticut between a few of them and Captain John Stone, a trader from Virginia, had ended in the death of Stone and some of his men. So these brothers was riding. You know, they was constantly going to war, you know, and getting it in. Now check this out. This is an account of what happened because the Pequot Indians was massacred, right? After so many wars, they was massacred by these people. This is page 338. It says, mercy did they deserve for their valor, because our forefathers, our foreparents was very brave. Even when they looked at, even when death and defeat was certain, brothers stood up, man. Not like you Negroes today, you lay down. But brothers back then stood up for what was right. Mercy did they deserve for their valor. Could we have had opportunity to have bestowed it was under his judgment. But this was not shared by Mason, who said that the Pequot had brought the mischief they plotted and the violence they offered to exercise upon their own heads in a moment, burning them up in the fire of his wrath and dunging the ground with their flesh. He melted the flesh off these people's skin, man. It says dunging the ground. They burned, they melted the skin off their bodies and dung the ground with their melted skin. Again, the mindset of your oppressor. Check this out. It says, it was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Then it goes on to say, memories of Amalek clearly are in Mason's head as he concludes his account with the words, thus we may see how the face of God is set against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. Even Underhill finally sees fit to quiet his conscience with the kind of Old Testament consolation to which Puritans notoriously were prone. It may be demanded he begins in a troubled philosophical digression. Why should you be so furious? As some have said, should not Christians have more mercy and compassion? But militant Puritanism comes up. Militant Puritanism. Remember they said there was Puritans. Militant Puritanism comes up with the same answer as militant Catholicism had. I would refer you, he goes on, to David's war when the people was grown to such a height of blood and sin against God and man, and all Confederates in the action there. He have no respect to persons, but harrows them and saws them and put them to the sword and the most terriblest death that may be. Sometimes the scriptures declare if women and children must perish with their parents. So really these heathens were acting as if they were the Israelites, when they were more closely in relation to Amalek, the son of Esau. And the natives they were putting this on Israelites. Stop it, man. You see how they take the records and then act as if they the people and got the hit from the Most High to come do these acts of treachery.
And then on top of that, right quick, look how, look at the barbarianism that they displayed. I mean, they would eat our flesh. Mm-hmm. They would dung our flesh. All the things that normal people wouldn't do, they was doing. Mm-hmm. And they say like Amalek. Yeah. See, now his name comes up again. Yeah. Yeah. See that Amalek, man. Amalek, Zepho, Esau's kindred.
Now check this out, just to show y'all in the same book that it's the scriptures on the Native Americans being Israelites. It's page 364. Now this was a black Jew living in Europe, a Morano that goes into Moor. You know what I'm saying? Easy research to show that Moor means dark skin. All right. It says those Indians, he told himself, they are Hebrews. Pondering this thought incredulously and yet with growing conviction, he resolved that if he ever was released, he would seek out the Indian Francisco and try to learn the truth. On down in there, it says, upon hearing her words, they rose, went over to Montesinos, and to his utter astonishment said, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Ehud. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. They had recited in Hebrew the fundamental credo of what they call Judaism. They told him that they themselves were of the tribe of Reuben and that the tribe of Joseph lived on an island nearby. And these are Spanish journals translated into English. Going into the natives, it was natives that knew that they were descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. One was saying they were of the tribe of Reuben. This was down in the Caribbean, close to South America. You know what I'm saying? Others were saying that their brothers Joseph, Ephraim, Manasseh, they were on islands nearby. Cuba. You see that? Some brothers say, Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers say Puerto Rico. Yeah, no, we ain't got no problem with none of that. But in these lost records translated into English, lost tribes in the promised land, it goes into how Native Americans, some Native Americans knew that they was Reubenites. Others knew that they descended from the tribe of Joseph, which is Ephraim and Manasseh. But we run around here trying to say the Native Americans are Israelites. Yes, they are. They are our people. You know what I'm saying? And it's a sad thing that we as Israel can't put down the division because we too carnal to understand this thing spiritually. Jacob had 4 baby mamas, 13 children. And Israel been dealing with other nations for thousands of years, man. In and out of other nations for thousands of years. So you really can't go off face value when you're looking at, okay, well, all the tribes got to be dark as Shaq. Like you ain't an Israelite unless you look like Shaquille O'Neal or something.
Speckled bird, right?
Right. The heritage is speckled bird, Jeremiah 12, 9 through 12. So let's stop all the madness, man. Right here in the records, Indians knew that they was Israelites, and that back up this fossilized customs. That Los Lunas Covenant stone that we read about earlier, where he said the Native Americans were Israelites. You see that? So check this out, bro. Before we get into first Maccabees, let's go to 2 Ezra 13.
Yeah.
And get them biblical proof on the fact that the Native Americans were actually Israelites. Again, we got 2 sources. We got plenty more. I got another book downstairs that goes into the sons that lived in Mexico and how they are connected to the tribes of Issachar. You know what I'm saying? So this one right here showed the Los Lunas Covenant stone in the back. 10 Commandments written in ancient Hebrew found by the Rio Grande, down by the border of Mexico and New Mexico. Written in ancient Hebrew, dating back to when Solomon was king of Israel. And it's the 10 Commandments written in Hebrew. And it says Columbus didn't discover the Americas. Israelites were already living here. And many became what are now referred to as Native Americans. So again, Israel, do you know the feast that you keeping today? You're keeping in commemoration to slaughter your brothers and sisters. And we read some things about the dunging of the flesh, right? In the lost tribes in Promised Land, and how also that the natives knew that they was Hebrew. This only proved that they not only spoke Hebrew, but was writing it as well. And then knew that they was Reubenites. And others knew that they was descended from Joseph. But let's get the biblical proof on it. 2 Ezra 13, verse 40 through 48. Then we got to get Genesis 49. It's time for Israel to get about their feelings. This book right here is called The Black Indians. It was Native Americans darker than Shaq. So let's stop playing around and let Hollywood play on your mind, man. You feel me? Do your research. Stop being so lazy. All right, bro.
Okay, Second Ezra, chapter 13, verse 39.
Yeah.
And also, mind you, too, that the 10 northern tribes were over in the Americas at least 2,000 years before Columbus knew even set foot over here.
Exactly.
At least 2,000 years.
Exactly. So that explains why there's an artifact of Israel found, what? By the Rio Grande. The 10 Commandments written in ancient Hebrew. How was that possible? If the indigenous people weren't Israelites. And then, you know, it's many more proof, man. They got deer skins with menorahs on them.
Cave drawings.
Hexagrams, even though it ain't substantiated in the Bible. A lot of our people identified with it. A lot of our people were wicked. So we ain't here to brag. A lot of the Native Americans was wicked. They was into idolatry and all that, man. Sacrificing. You feel me? But the fact of the matter is, outside your feelings, we are the people of this book right here, man. The children of Israel. The Native Americans have a claim in that, as well as the Hispanic brothers and sisters, as well as the rest of Israel scattered worldwide. All right? You got that, Second Ezra?
Second Ezra, chapter 13, verse 39. And whereas thou sawest, whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
You see that? So that's history. You feel me? What happened when the 10 northern tribes in 722 BC that were took into captivity by the Assyrians? You see that? That's history. You can research that. All right? Come on, brother.
But they took this counsel amongst themselves, that they should leave the multitude, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
That would be what you call America, or the Western Hemisphere. But what happened when Columbus supposedly discovered America? What did they call it? The New World. Where never no man had ever dwelt before, man. And we knew about all the ancient world. The lands of Japheth, the lands of Shem, lands of Ham. And we knew about all that, man. So where else could it possibly be on planet Earth that they dwelt, that no man had ever dwelt before? The New World, you got it, the Western Hemisphere, the Americas. All right, come on, brother.
Verse 42.
Yeah.
That they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Because they never kept. The 10 northern tribes were into a lot of idolatry and paganism and child sacrifice. Look at the Mel Gibson movie Apocalypto. Those was Israelites, man. You see what I'm saying? But they was into a lot of wickedness. Right? So the Most High allowed the heathen to conquer them. You feel me? Or conquer us as a people, because whenever we're divided in belief and mindset, we are not the same people, nor do we have the hedge of God around us anymore. That's what has happened.
Right. Whether it's the 10 northern tribes or whether it's just Judah.
Judah and Benjamin. Right.
Judah and Benjamin. It don't matter. Once we stop keeping the commandments of the Most High, that's when the heathen come and take us down. And they know this. They know in order for them to handle us, they got to get us to break the commandments of the Most High.
Like it say in Ezekiel 7, Most High said, because you don't went against me, I'm going to send the worst of the heathen. So yeah, Most High sent them, or allowed it to happen, or sanctioned it to happen, because you got away from him. But do we celebrate the slaughtering of our brothers and sisters? No, man. No, we supposed to be doing is being circumspect and take heed to ourselves and make sure we humble ourselves, man.
Let me just hit that Ezekiel 7, Michael, what you were just talking about.
Ezekiel 7.
Yeah.
Ezekiel 7:23. On down.
Ezekiel 7, Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 23.
Verse 22.
Verse 22. My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place. For the robbers shall enter into it and defile it.
For the robbers shall enter into the Holy Land and defile it. That's what's going on right now. The gay parades in Tel Aviv. Every year, heathens walking around with ashless chaps. Come on, brother.
Verse 23.
Come on.
Make a change. For the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence.
So I say make a change. You're going into slavery for that. You don't went against me. I'm going to let the robbers come in, defile it, make a chain. The land is full of bloody crime. Y'all going into captivity for going against me. That's judgment of the Most High. Come on, bro.
Verse 24.
Yeah.
Wherefore, I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled.
That's what's going on right now, man. The holy place is defiled. Come on, bro.
Destruction cometh.
What cometh?
Destruction cometh.
Destruction cometh. Come on.
And they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients. The king shall mourn, and the prince shall be clothed with desolation. And the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their deserts will I judge them. And they shall know that I am the Most High, the everlasting.
Hey, that's self-explanatory. Destruction cometh. Why? We don't went against the Most High. That's what has happened here. That's why it's important for Israel to get back to their God. The message is repent or die, black man, woman and child of America, Native American man, Israelite man, woman and child worldwide, should I say. Repent and turn away from your wickedness. All right? Where we at? 2nd Ezra 13?
Yeah, verse 43. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
Right.
For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Right, go ahead.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
Namely what?
Namely of a year and a half.
It took them a year and a half to get to this land that no man ever dwelt before. A year and a half. Now, check this out right here. We got a map. Page 94. And it shows the Euphrates River emptying out into the Persian Gulf, right? Going on down around the Horn of Africa, and then dispersing South, Central, and North America. It took them a year and a half to get to that land that no man had ever dwelt in. But again, we knew all the lands that was around us, showing you that the indigenous people of the Americas were actually Israelites. Yeah, they were under pagan philosophies and ideologies. And yeah, the heathen did what they did to them because the Most High sanctioned it. But same thing with us. Most High sanctioned it because we as a people went against him, man. We should not be celebrating Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving. You should not be celebrating that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact of the matter is, we need to get back to our God, and how we do that is by keeping his commandments and faith of his son, and then we'll have a hedge around us as a nation until that destruction comes. Flat out. Come on, brother.
Okay, and the same region is called Osiris.
Osiris, Newfound Land. That's the name of America in the scripture. One of his names, Osiris. Come on, brother.
Verse 46. Then dwelt they there until the latter time.
Until the last time, last days. Come on.
And now, when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sowest thou the multitude with peace.
So Most High gonna do wonderful things for them as he gonna do for us, the whole nation of Israel. Right? We believing about this captivity, Israel. Believe it or not. We believing about it. So 1 Maccabees is where we going next. 1 Maccabees. Remember, his words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. And this ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Israel has always been tripping. 1 Maccabees 1, we read 11 through 15, and we jump down to 29. And I'll read down. This goes into Antiochus' Epiphany and him sacking Jerusalem and doing what he did to us after Alexander the Greek died, and his kingdom was parted between his 4 generals. All right, you got that, brother?
1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
You see that? So it says, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men. It's wicked for us as a people to be in the mindset of going to take on the ways of heathens. That's wicked because we already in contract or covenant with the Most High. What are we doing trying to make a covenant with the heathen? Such as Thanksgiving. What are we doing? How do you make a covenant with the heathen? And the scriptures say that's wicked. But you say, oh, it's innocent. It's just food. Come on, brother.
One more thing, too. Once we make a covenant with another nation, that disannuls the covenant that we have with the Most High.
Yeah.
Okay, verse 12. So this device pleased them well. Then certain other people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
Yeah, permission. Yeah, y'all go be heathens. Y'all not Israelites no more. Y'all Gentiles. Like the mindset we have today. Come on, brother.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem.
Start training up brothers to work out and train for the Olympics. Yeah, that's a Greek custom. That will not be going on in the kingdom. Really, it's a Greek custom to pay homage to the false gods of Greece. They go all the way back to Babylon. Come on, brother.
According to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
So we become uncircumcised as a people or Gentiles when we start acting like heathens and doing what they doing. So in essence, when our people say they Gentiles, they are right, but only in mindset. By blood, they are not Gentiles. You are not a Gentile. You are an Israelite. You would descend out of these 12 lost tribes of Israel. It's just you've been so seduced by the pig meat eating preacher, you really believe that you were Gentile like our people thought back then. Nothing new under the sun. Jump on down to verse 29, brother.
Verse 29.
Yeah.
And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit.
See, that's why the scripture tell you never trust your enemy. He spoke peaceable words, flattering words to them, but for the purpose of deceiving them. Just like what the pilgrims did with the neighbors, made over 400-something treaties and then broke every last one of them. So don't fall for that, Israel. You know, you fall into the Stockholm Syndrome category. You start feeling sorry for your oppressor.
Love our oppressor.
Stop that, man. Come on, brother.
For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel.
And destroyed what?
And destroyed much people of Israel.
Come on, brother.
And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire, and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side.
You know what the heathen like? When I get everything that I want, I'm destroying everything that these people depend on. And that's what has happened with the Native American brothers. Not only them, us as well. That's what has happened. When the heathen get what they want out of you, they don't need you no more. You see that? They used to love OJ running through airports. The Jews!
Hey, OJ.
Hey, OJ! You remember that? They don't need you no more. Or what's his name? Orenthal Jane. They don't need you no more. Now you in jail. But that's what happens, man. They'll speak peaceable words to you and then destroy you. That's why you never to trust your enemy. Come on, brother.
Verse 32.
Yeah.
But the women and children took their captive and possessed the cattle.
Come on now. Now check this out. Let's jump over to Sirach 12. Sirach chapter 12. And look, y'all read that first Maccabees chapter 1. It's very informative. And it basically goes into the same thing that happened to the natives. You feel me? They come in, they speak peaceable words, and then they slay you. His words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. See, we got to go off the actions. We can say we're going to do something, right? But we say that, but if the actions don't follow up with what you said, those were just words, empty words. Let's go to Sirach 12, brother. Sirach 12, verse 10. We're going to read 10 on down to 16.
Sirach 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
No, trust them sometimes.
Never trust thine enemy.
The Bible tells us to never trust our enemies. Come on, brother.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Just like it's guaranteed for iron to rust, your enemy is going to show his wickedness. That devil is going to show his head.
All right, later.
Come on,
verse
brother.
11. Though he humble himself and go crouching.
Like the pilgrims did. What? Like, okay, well, look, we didn't have no way to plant, so the Indians showed us how to plant, and we had a Thanksgiving. So they humbled themselves, went crouching, right? Come on.
Yet take good heed and beware of him.
Watch him. Come on.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Because eventually you only can stand on your tippy toes so long. Them calf muscles gonna get tight. Them toes gonna get sore, and then you gotta come on back down, and everybody really see how short you are. You see that? You only front for so long. Come on, brother.
Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
So who's standing up in the Native Americans' place now? Esau. This is stolen property. This is stolen land. The scriptures had the brothers been paying attention to the word, you hear me? They'd have known we can't set them by us, man. Why? Because eventually he's going to overthrow us. There can't be two rulers. Come on, bro.
And one more thing too. See, and another reason too, because see, they didn't have, just like we don't have now, the true love of the Most High in our heart. So we susceptible to anything. Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat.
Woo.
And thou, at the last, remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
See that? Come on, bro.
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent?
We can't pity you. I mean, come on now. You know better.
Shouldn't be messing
Shouldn't
with
have been dealing with the enemy. Come on, bro.
Or any such as come nigh wild beasts. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins. Who will pity?
Come on.
For a while he will abide with thee. But if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry.
He's only there for occasion. He's only there for you to help him. Come on, bro.
It's like when you come into some money, everybody come
Everybody around now. You remember, I used to change your Pampers. Come on, bro.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips.
Yeah, though his words were smoother than butter. Remember, we read it earlier. But war was in his heart.
But in his heart, he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Come on.
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
That's what has happened with our people. Let's grab Isaiah chapter 5, brother. Isaiah chapter 5.
I mean, if that ain't a second witness, I don't know.
What you say, boy? If he find opportunity, he won't be satisfied with blood.
Laying for weight. Remember, he was crouching now.
Yeah. Isaiah 5, verse 20 through 24. You feel me? Just going over, scriptures and showing you that when you're done talking, this is a commandment of men. It's not a commandment of God. It has nothing to do with the Most High. It was founded on the rape, murder, bloodshed, and deception and slavery of not only us, but also the Native American brothers and sisters. So how could you say, well, that ain't why I celebrate it now, when we read Job 14:4, where it says you can't bring something clean out of something that's unclean. That which is false with truth can come. So you saying or trying to dress up, that's like a so-called pastor trying to dress up Halloween and saying we ain't gonna have a trick or treat, we gonna do a trunk or treat. You can't dress up wickedness. You can't put ketchup on a boo-boo sandwich. It's still manure.
It's still gonna stay.
It's still gonna stay. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't put enough MSG on boo-boo. Are you serious? Stop that, man.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20.
Yes, sir.
Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
That's what y'all doing, trying to dress up Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving or holiday hell day. You see that? Woe unto them that call evil good. Come on.
That put darkness for light and light for darkness.
Right.
That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
In other words, you're flopping everything. Everything's backwards. What's right is wrong and what's wrong is right now. And the scriptures say, woe unto you, meaning destruction is coming. Come on, brother.
Verse 21.
Yeah.
Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight.
Right.
Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine and men of strength to mingle strong